Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Tanny and I love to cook. Today I'm going to show you how I make a delicious Cornish game hen in my air fryer. It's quick. It only takes 20 minutes for one bird, a little longer if you're going to do two at a time. It is delicious. So it's poultry, right? So if you like chicken, then you're going to love a Cornish game hen. And it is a showstopper on the plate. To have a whole bird on a plate looks kind of special. So let's get to cooking. Here I have the Cornish game hen paired with steamed broccoli, and look at how moist and juicy it is. And I truss the legs for a more elegant presentation on the bird, and I will certainly show you how to do that during this video. So I wanted to show you the actual air fryer that I use. It is a Cook's Essentials air fryer that I've had for, I think, about a year or a little bit longer. I use it several times a week, sometimes several times a day. So I definitely recommend this brand of air fryer. I love this size because I can actually cook 2 Cornish game hens at one time. If you do one, it takes about 20 minutes, give or take a few minutes depending on the actual air fryer you use and its size and wattage. But if one takes 20, then two will take about 40 minutes. But as you're getting to know your air fryer, you want to actually open the door to stop it during the cooking process so that you can look and see how it's cooking. Is it cooking hotter on one side than the other side? Or is it burning on one side? Also, the temperature you use will determine how long your actual Cornish game hen will take to cook. But that is the basics. Oh, and you want to have a couple of oils to cook with before you put something in your air fryer. So I do like a spray oil. I also use my grapeseed oil, sesame oil, or extra virgin olive oil that you can rub on your meat or vegetables before you stick it in the air fryer. You can also just spray your basket in the air fryer, depending on what you're making. But for this Cornish game hen recipe, we're actually going to rub down our bird in some extra virgin olive oil as we season it. So that is my little spiel on my air fryer. So now we're going to start with cleaning our Cornish game hens. I have Tyson brand. I've seen others, but this is the one that I buy. They usually come in a 2-pack, and sometimes you'll notice one in the pack is bigger than the other, but it shouldn't be that big of a difference. So once I cut open my packs, I rinse them off under running water, and I check them to see if there are any feathers or debris or fat that I need to take off during this time. After I wash them, I let them soak in water for a few minutes as I do other things in the kitchen to prepare for the rest of the cooking process. So after I let them soak, I dry them off near the sink so I'm not dripping that Cornish game hen water all over my kitchen floor. I just pat them down with paper towels. And now that I have them on my plastic cutting board, you want to take your small paring knife and cut 2 holes into each side of the hen skin. It will help if you hold the legs up in a crisscross position that you'll want to see them trussed it in. And also, if there's extra skin or fat that you see here, you certainly can cut that off as well. And that's what I'm doing. I want to give you another angle, a better side angle, to see the trussing process. So you want to hold the legs up into position and get an idea of where you want the holes to be. And I am flipping the bird over just to make sure that everything is clean, and I'm drying it off because whenever you're using a knife, you want to make sure your hands are as dry as possible. So here's some extra skin that I'm cutting off. And now I'm going to make my first hole, and you want to be careful, but watch out for your fingers. It looks kind of dangerous as I'm doing it here. I'm trying to be more careful on this side. But as I'm moving my legs to the crisscross to the crisscross hole on the opposite side. I'm noticing that one of the holes wasn't correct, so I redid it. And it's okay, take your time. If you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. It usually takes doing a few birds to get the hang of it. But it came out and it's still pretty, and it will definitely still be delicious. So now I want to uncross the legs so that I can season them first with my olive oil in a large bowl. The amount of oil, you just want to cover your birds. It depends on the size as well as how many you're seasoning at one time. Next, I'm going to add my liquid smoke, a few dashes. This adds a nice smoky flavor for indoor cooking. Lowry seasoning salt. Again, you want to be cautious with the amount of salt you use, but this is seasoning that's going to go on the front, back, and inside. Next up is the black pepper. Now I'm adding garlic powder. Onion powder. And mesquite grilled meat seasoning. This also contains salt, so you want to keep that in mind if you are focused on a low sodium diet. And so once it's seasoned, you want to rub your seasonings into the bird. Well, the front, the back, as well as inside and under the skin, so that your hen is well seasoned. And you want to make sure you sop up all of the oil and seasonings at the bottom and not leave any of it just sitting there. And here I'm just moving my finger underneath the skin. And I realized I didn't put enough seasoning, so I'm adding smoked paprika. A little more liquid smoke to help add additional moisture, as well as some more grilled meat seasoning. And again, this is to your personal taste. If you like less seasoning, then you can use less. If you don't like a particular item, I add it. Like if you don't like garlic or you don't like onion, then don't add it. Now you want to refrigerate this for 2 hours up to overnight. Once you take it out, leave it on the counter to come to room temperature, and then you're ready to preheat your air fryer. I'm setting mine to 360 degrees. You can set it for 24 to 25 minutes to give it a couple of minutes to preheat, and then put your bird in your air fryer. I'm only putting one in this time. So after a few minutes, you want to open your air fryer and check it just to be sure everything is cooking evenly. I didn't spray the inside of my pan here. I had enough oil on my actual bird from marinating overnight. So now I'm closer to being finished, and the bird looks beautiful, and listen to that sizzle, and the legs are trussed, so it gives a more elegant presentation. Now, within a couple of minutes of being finished, I want to open the air fryer again and take the actual temperature of the bird. I'm using a meat thermometer. You want it to be an internal temperature of 165 to 170 degrees. And that is what this bird is on after just about 22 minutes of cooking. You want to let the bird rest, and you can see I have it paired here with steamed broccoli, some lemon and rosemary, and look at how that bird looks. It's moist, it's well seasoned, and it is impressive on my plate. Let me know in the comments if this is a recipe you think you'll be interested in making.